Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about Azure services. So what are the services provided by the Azure? So I just listed down the services. So basically Azure will provide the compute services, network services, and storage services, and web and mobile services, databases, data and analytics, and AI and cognitive services, IoT services, and enterprise integration services, and security and identity, and monitoring and management. When it comes to the compute services, we have different type of services like virtual machines. Okay, so we can create a virtual machines and app services, functions, batch and container services, container instances, service fabric, and cloud services. So these all services comes under computer. And when it comes to the network, it's create it under sub services like virtual network, load balancer, and application gateway, VPN gateway, Azure DNS, traffic manager, CDN, and express route. So these all comes under networking services. When it comes to the storage services, it will have Azure storage and Blob storage and queue storage, file storage, table storage, and disk storage. Okay, these storages will comes under storage part. And mobile and web services, it will comes under app services, API management, media services, notification apps, Azure search. These are comes under web and mobile services. When it comes to the database, it supported SQL Azure DB for MySQL and PostgreSQL, SQL Data Warehouse, and Cosmos DB and Red Hat Cache. These are comes under databases. Data and analytics, HD Insights and Event Hubs, Data Lake Store Analytics and Data Factory and Azure Analysis Services. This comes under data and analytics. And AI and in cognitive services, it comes under machine learning and both services, vision, speech, knowledge, search, and language. These are comes under AI and cognitive services. Enterprise integrations, logic apps, event grid, service bus, and data catalog. These are all comes under enterprise integrations. Security and identity. So these comes under Azure AD and Azure AD B2C, business to consumer. Azure AD Domain Services, Key Vault, and Security Center. These are all comes under security and identity services and monitoring and management services. So it will comes under Azure Policy, Azure Monitor, and App Insights and Logic Analytics, Site Recovery, and Azure Backups. Okay, these are all comes under monitoring and management services. So these are the list of services. We will discuss few of the services in future sessions. So when it comes to the virtual machine, it is kind of a VM like Windows or Linux. It will be provided. So when it comes to the EC2, can you compare to the AWS? It is kind of a EC2 services. Okay, in Azure we have six type of virtual machines with 28 families. Okay, like Oracle, Linux, Debian, everything. And Azure App Services, it's a platform as a services completely managed by the environment like .NET, Java, Ruby, and Python. So it will comes under web apps plus API and mobile backends and containers. It contain have Windows and Linux. Azure Functions. It is kind of when you compare with AWS, it is a AWS Lambda functions. Okay, it is a serverless compute. Azure Functions run code on demand. Okay, it functions as a service. Execute code in response to event triggers. This will only pay when your code is executed. And Azure Batch Services. It is managed service for batch processing jobs, used to running large scale of parallel and HPC workload efficiently, and supported for both Windows and Linux compute networks. Batch is free, just pay when the resources your job can consumes. Container services. It is managed by the Kubernetes container orchestrations, auto upgrades and patches, and supported and other orchestrations. And the container instances, container as a service. Okay, and a fast and easy way to run the container in Azure. Useful for applications that can isolated containers. Containers can get public IP and can design container specific yourself. And it supported both the Windows and Linux. And Service Fabric. It is a platform for running microservices and containers. It is used a lot for Azure and MS services and cloud services. It's originally PaaS, okay, platform as service offering from Azure. Okay, these are all the compute services. When it comes to the virtual network, it is similar to isolated network within Azure. Okay, you can host your VMs and VM scale sets, app services environment. Okay, compose subnets and user-defined routes, security groups, outbound, inbound, outbound internet access, VNet peering services endpoint. When it comes to the load balancer, it's a kind of load balancer functionality of your VMs and Fabric, internal HTTP and all. Application gateways. It is a layer 7 at load balancing in Azure. Okay. It is similar to the, when you compare AWS, it is similar to the AWS ELB. Here application gateways and VPN gateways. It is managed VPN in the cloud, site to site and point to site. Okay. Establish encryption connectivity, Azure on-premises, Azure multi-regions. Okay. Azure DNS. It is a Azure domain naming system hosts host your DNS domains. Okay. It is similar in Route 53 in AWS. Traffic Manager. It's a global traffic router. Okay. And Azure and external endpoints. Priority, weight, performance, geographic, all these things provided. And CDN. Okay. Content Delivery Network. It improves the performance by getting closer to the users. Okay. Domains are accelerators. Services provided by the Akame and Verizon and Express Route. It's a private connection into the Azure. Okay, these are all the network storages. And when it comes to the storage, it's a Azure storage. It's a collection of storage services, storage account in private object. Okay, there are list of services and blob storage. It is similar to the S3. Okay, it is internet accessible object storage. Store large amount of unstructured data, HTTP or HTTPS, public and private options, storage account, container blobs. Okay, three types of blobs, block and append and page. Queue storage, it is a SQS when compared with AWS. It's a durable management queue services. Okay, file storages, fully managed by SMB and CAFS file share, mounted concurrently by the cloud and premises Windows, Linux and Mac OSs. Table services, storing unstructured NoSQL data and key value store. So we can entity up to 1 MB in size. Disk storage. When you compare with the disk storage, it is similar to EBS in AWS. Managed or unmanaged disks. Okay. These are all the storage services. App services. Okay. When it comes to the web and mobile, it's app services. It is a platform as a service, is completely managed by the environment and API management. So managed and scalable API gateways, gateway like caching, authorizations, okay, and media services, end-to-end media workflow services, upload, store, encode, package, delivery, on-demand, live events, everything. Notification apps, it's similar to the AWS SNS, and Azure Search is similar to the Cloud Search, AWS, Amazon Cloud Search, and databases like SQL DB. It is similar to AWS RDS. It is fully managed SQL database, a single DB or elastic pools. Azure database for MySQL and Postgres. Okay, these are the managed services similar to AWS RDS, managed and relational database services. SQL data warehouses. It is similar to the AWS Redshift. Cosmos DB, similar to Amazon DynamoDB, and Redis Cache. It is similar to Elasticsearch. Okay, these are the databases. There are AI and incognito services and IoT services, enterprise integrity and security and identity. Okay, so when it comes to the security and identity, it is Azure AD Active Directory. It is a core Azure Services Directory and Identity Management. Azure Active Directory B2C, business to consumer. It is similar to AWS Cognitive. Active Directory domain services. It is similar to direct services. Key Vault, Security Center. Azure policies. It's a governance of Azure resources. Create and assign managed policy definitions. Okay, green and brown fields. Azure Monitor. It is similar to AWS CloudWatch. Basic monitor Azure resources. Metrics, active log, diagnostic log. These are all comes under Azure monitoring. Application insight similar to X-ray in AWS. Application performance management. Log analytics. Collection of data from various resources. Azure site recovery. It is business continuity, disaster recovery, and cloud and on-premises support, failure and failback. Azure backup as a service, cloud on-premises support, ultimated, unlimited scaling, multiple storage options. Okay, these are all comes under monitoring and services. We will discuss in detail each services with demo. That's all about in this session. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. Thank you.